Since our singing voices didn't make it to Nashville,
we figured we would use our voices in a completely different way.
we're two friends hanging out, sharing about our businesses.
Our journeys to motherhood, things we love, and making time to do life.
Together. This is
Two Chicks and a Glass. Hey y'all. Hey. We are back. Finally, after what, 2 weeks? 2 or 3 weeks? 2 weeks? Oh my goodness. So we are back. I'm Lashonda Hollins, and I am one half of Two Chicks and a Glass.
Hey y'all, I'm Angela Robertson and I am the other half of Two Chicks and a Glass, and I'm so excited to be back.
Yes. Oh my God. It's been much needed. Like we haven't, like with us not being back, we literally haven't chatted outside of just like brief text messages, brief like instant messages. So it's like good to be back. So when we tell y'all we did this so that our busy lives didn't stop us from communicating, like we really did, because we get so busy and life starts happening, and you all know about the last 2 weeks. So we'll get into all of that. So that's actually what this episode is going to be about. We're going to be talking about the snowstorm that we had in the South. And for us, it was a blizzard. No, but
For us, it was a drizzle.
So we're going to be talking about that today. But before we jump into talking about the storm and how it affected us, let's talk about what's in our glass first. So you go, Angie.
All right. So today, here is my glass, and let me show y'all my wine. I have something different. It's a Pinot Noir. I hope I said that right. And this one is called Conscious. Actually, it's one that Nick picked out. It's super sweet-ish. I'm going to go with that. It is, 13.5% alcohol. I'm going to disclose that one today. And I don't know, it tastes really good. If you are on YouTube, you can actually see the color. Let me give it a little taste. Yeah, it's more sweet than I normally drink, which Pinots typicily are a little bit sweeter than your cabs, but I really like it. It's called Conscious. It wasn't very expensive. It's a Wilmette Valley, Oregon wine, and it's a 2019. So I say go ahead and pick that up. It really does taste very well. And to pair with this today, I have a lip gloss. If you are on YouTube, you can see this fancy, shiny little jeweled top. I love it. It's called Humble. It's the perfect lip gloss shade for every single skin tone. It looks beautiful. It's a nice little brownish color, and it smells incredible. So that's what I am drinking and what I have on my lips. So Lashonda, what are you drinking today?
Oh, girl, I've got the good stuff.
Oh, yeah. That good.
Good, girl. No, but since we are recording a little bit early today, I opted to go with it's a pineapple mocha because I used pineapple juice today, and I went with Old Reliable because it's the only champagne I had in my cabinet right now, which is Andre. And you guys know about Andre. You can get it at your local grocery store, your local gas station. You can pretty much get Andre anywhere. Of course, it's a California champagne. It's brut. It's very inexpensive, and it's good for mimosas if you don't have anything else. And so this is what I'll grab to just have in my cabinet as a reliable champagne when I run out. I usually get a couple bottles just to have because I like mimosas. But it's just a really good, reliable champagne. It's not amazing. It is also not awful, but when you mix it with a little bit of orange juice, a little bit of pineapple juice or cranberry juice, you have yourself a good morning drink. And that's what I am having this morning.
Nice. You could even get it on the side of the street if you're in New Orleans.
You can get it by the bottle in New Orleans on the side of the street. Well, now you know you can get Andre anywhere. You can get Andre here or there. You can get Andre anywhere.
Oh gosh, yes you can.
Well, that's what I'm having today. So let's jump into this storm, Angie. So how did it affect you all? You're in Louisiana, in Lafayette. So how did the weather affect you all?
Well, for us, it was more ice. Okay, so we had the temps did drop very significantly. Like to me, it felt like, -12 or maybe -20, but it was actually a lot uh, warmer than that. But it was very cold here. Day one, I know that outside my window is where I'm looking. We had what appeared to be snow, but it was more like just ice. It was a very light little cover. My back patio was iced over. The biggest thing that we had were like, I didn't cover my palm trees. Both my palm trees are completely brown now. It was very cold in the house. So for my little girl, she slept with us. So she slept like in the middle of us so we could make sure she was warm. We lit our fire. It was really a cozy time. Like we cooked that day. I feel like I maybe did a live or something cooking. We ate chili. We just did a lot of relaxing things. We stayed in the house. Nick was off work, so it was really a good time of family time together. So for us, it wasn't as devastating as it was for you. I was concerned about you at first. I was like, how we were texting with the weather or the energy kind of going in and out. It was kind of funny, not necessarily funny, but it was comical a little. I know it sucked to be in that position, and we thought that we were going to be in that position as well. So we were kind of gearing ourselves for it with the 20 minutes on, maybe an hour off. So I hope nobody takes offense to that I'm saying it was a little funny. We thought it was going to happen here. And then, things started to get real whenever I noticed that it didn't come back on for you guys. So it's like, for me, my mentality switched to like, okay, now I'm really concerned about my friend. It's super cold over there. Like they're not getting any power. So I was more concerned about other people and hoping that other people were staying warm. I saw, things on Facebook where people were sitting in their cars, and like it literally switched my mentality and made me feel so awful. I had to honestly, inside of me, I had to feel grateful and more gratitude that we didn't have it as bad, because, I never want to come off to where I'm like braggy because we have warm and we're nice and, cozied up. I couldn't help but feel bad for the people that did not have that. Mm-hmm. So it turned my whole experience into a lot more gratitude. So that way I could be grateful for the things that we had, especially having a little girl and knowing that other people didn't have that just, made me feel awful. So what about for you?
Well, yours definitely sounded like a Hallmark movie.
I know.
All cozy and, y'all are having family time.
Yeah.
I told everybody whenever people ask, how we did or how we fared, I told them, we were blessed. Like we really were. We were blessed to have everything that we needed. But we did, like you said, the very first day we had what they called rolling power. And, we thought that it was going to be that way the entire time, but it wasn't. So on the day that we did have rolling power, it would come on sometimes it would come on for like 4 minutes, 5 minutes, yeah. And then, be off for 30 or 40. And then there were times that it would come on for 15 minutes or 20 minutes at a time. And then you were able to get a little bit more done. So on the very first day we had that rolling power. So I was able to make soup that day. I was able to make cornbread that day. And so, and then I made another meal. I can't remember what it was. Maybe I did chicken or baked chicken, or no, I did chicken on top of the stove very quickly that day as well, and cabbage. So that way the cornbread went with everything. And so for that day we had food, and then the very next day we were able to warm soup outside. So because we had propane. But after that first day, like I cooked in between those interval times, and made 2 meals that lasted us that day and some of the next day, which I'm so glad I did that, because we didn't know that we weren't going to have electricity the next day. Of course, the next day, electricity didn't come on. And then I think it came on later in the evening, about 4 hours. And then after that, it didn't come on at all the very next day. So we literally went over 50 plus hours without electricity. And we were, you know, warming stuff up outside. So Emmanuel has he bought like the turkey fryer stuff back for the holidays. And so we had propane outside. We had charcoal for the grill. And so we were able to warm and cook things outside in order to stay fed. Our water was cold. So we were one of the people that never lost water, but the water was cold. So you were taking cold showers, like hopping in and hopping out type thing. And it's already freezing in your house. It was pretty bad. Like, I was not a happy camper. I was a grouch. And then there was one day, and I was gonna tell, I think I actually told this story. Like, I was so grouchy. We had not had electricity all day. I'd had to take a cold shower. And finally, like, I got up and I was like, okay, like, I started talking to myself, like, you got to change your thought process. Like, you've got to get out of this negative mindset, or this is not going to be good for you at all. Like, moving forward, it's just going to all be bad. And as soon as I started having that thought process, Angela, literally, as I started talking to myself and having that thought process, that's when the power popped on for that 4 hours. Aww. So, like, I mean, as I'm standing in the kitchen, talking to myself out loud, it pops on. Granted, it came on for 4 hours, and then the next day it never came on again. Like, that was kind of a nudge for me to, like, get out of this negative headspace, because you are blessed. There are people that couldn't find propane and had no electricity. So how are they able to eat unless they're eating canned goods and stuff like that? So luckily we had a full pantry and everything that we needed to get by. And I was able to change my mentality a little bit. I was freezing. I did have like 4 blankets on the couch. All of that stuff. It was, some days it was 18 degrees, some days it was 16 degrees outside. Luckily our house is new also. And so it is properly insulated. So our house didn't get below like 59 degrees or 60 degrees inside. Some people's houses got into the teens. Our pipes didn't burst or anything like that. So we had no physical damage to our house also. So that was a blessing as well. So I just say we were blessed. It was not ideal. It was not comfortable. It did not make me happy, but I did find a way to remain grateful for the things that we did have.
That's interesting. It is like those little nudges, you know, and I think that keeps us all on track.
Yeah.
I know for me, you know, I had to completely switch it to where it's like, girl, you better like accept these blessings and like know that you are blessed right now. And God, I mean, you know, I'm very like spiritual. I'm like, God shows up when he needs to show up to show us, you know, yeah, this is the path that you need to be on and to help our mindset. So
exactly. The first day of Rolling Power, every time it popped off, I was like, are you kidding me? You know, like, this is crazy. Like, in the middle of trying to cook, are you kidding me? Like, it's off again. Trust me. Like, I was very, very grateful for that Rolling Power the next day when I didn't get any. And I told Emmanuel, I was like, if we can just get the Rolling Power back, I'll be happy.
I kid you not, there was like several commercials that came on that we started to record because everybody reminded us of you. It was like another, like these ladies in the kitchen, and Nick will be like, look at Shonda right there. And I'm like, that ain't Shonda. But I swear, we talked about you so much because of every single person we saw, we were like, oh, look at Shonda. We could just see you, you just got that, that thing.
It was rough on your friend, girl. It was rough, but I survived.
I'm glad y'all did. I do want to share, like for us, I think maybe it was the third day. Like I remember like 2 main days. By day 3, I feel like we were heading into the weekend. Maybe it was Friday. That's when we ran out of firewood.
Mm-hmm.
So fortunately for us, it wasn't as cold. Nick had I think he was able to go to work that day, maybe for a few hours, and then they got off. And just because it was so cold at their job.
So did you have electricity, or were you using your fireplace for heat?
Yes, we had electricity, but like whenever we would turn it up, it still wasn't keeping up with the cold.
Oh, got it. Okay.
It probably, I mean, and I say this, we still had like with the fireplace going, it was like 73. So it was pretty warm in here. And our biggest concern was, especially at night with London, we were scared that, we didn't want her to freeze to death. So I was putting 3 layers of clothes on her. I put her, she had a hat on, she had a onesie on, she had a little jumper thing on, a sleeper, and she had on her little bag. I did not want my baby to get
London was like, I am warm and cozy.
She had socks on, little mittens, poor baby. And Nick was like, she got all these clothes on? Yes, baby. My mama taught me to layer.
Exactly.
But honestly, I know we were good. She was my biggest concern. And like when it was maybe the second night, we had put her in her crib with everything on and she kept waking up. So that's how we knew she was uncomfortable. So we would just bring her back in the living room and let her sleep by the fireplace. Mm-hmm. Her sleeping habits got completely out of whack. But other than that, at least she was warm.
Yeah.
So what were you going to say?
I was going to say, I think one of the things that I am also grateful for and appreciative of is that I was raised in Mississippi because like Emmanuel said all the time, he was like, I text my coworker and told her how you made 2 meals in the midst of rolling power. And she was like, that girl is super warm. Like, how did she do that? I was like, listen, when you're from Mississippi, like you like those instincts and those skills just kind of kick back in, like all the stuff that, I would see my mom do, like, because we lost electricity in Mississippi growing up, you know what I mean? But I was telling Emmanuel we need to get a hot plate because, back in the day, I used to have the hot plates and I knew that luckily I love candles. So I had a lot of candles. Mm-hmm. But nonetheless, Emmanuel was like, all of your Mississippi came back out for these last few days, like survival mode for sure. So, I mean, and I attribute all of that to how I was raised and like where I was raised. And so that's how we survived, I think.
So too. Like, did y'all have plenty of batteries?
Yeah, so I have batteries. Yeah. But mostly we use candles because I love candles. I tell anybody, if you buy me a gift and you don't know what to give me candles. So I have like a basket of candles. So we had candles downstairs, candles upstairs. It smelled good in here too, girl.
It sounds romantic, It was romantic and cold. It was a cold, stormy night.
Yes, it was. The start of a good story.
Yes. Oh, okay. So next time, like if this were ever to happen again, I feel like, I highly doubt it happening again in our lifetime for some reason. But
hopefully they learned from this.
Yeah. Should it happen again, how do you think you would better prepare, or do you feel that others could better prepare?
I think both. I definitely think that I'm in Texas, so I definitely think that the state of Texas has to be more prepared. Like they have to get better prepared than this. And honestly, like I could just be ignorant, but I feel like we use a buttload of power in the summer because it gets hot here. And so I don't understand how using my heat was going to max out the grid and using my air in the summer does not. Again, I could be ignorant to how the power works and how the power grid works and all of that, but however it works, I feel like they need to be better prepared for this in the future if it's to ever happen again. Because global warming is a thing. So there is a possibility that it could happen again. We don't know what's happening. But also, I feel like for us to be better prepared, like we had everything we needed, but I would have definitely liked to have like that hot plate and stuff like that. So maybe investing in a generator for us, I would have liked to have had a generator just so that if I needed to power a small heater, like I could power a small electric heater because I have one that I keep at work. And so if I can have something to power that, that's good. Something to use to cook, if we wanted to cook on the inside on a hot plate or something like that. Investing in more camping stuff, because I do think that when you go camping, you're prepared to live in the wilderness. So you're prepared to eat, you're prepared to stay warm, you're prepared for all of these things. So those are some of the things that have been coming up for us, and people have been recommending that fared very well, better than us during this. And that was because they had camping stuff, they had generators, and they were just a little bit more prepared. And so we have been looking at investing in a generator just to have, whether we use that sucker one time a year or if we take it camping with us or whatever, like we feel like we should invest in at least a small generator.
Right. Those are good for hurricanes. I know that that's one of the things that we have on our list for that, but
Mhm.
I think that's a good idea too
Yeah.
for us to do.
Mm-hmm.
I think for us, I definitely know that we ran out of wood, so we need to make sure that we're stocked on wood.
When I buy another house, I'm investing in that fireplace.
Yes.
That's another thing I'll do whenever we do. Because when we built this house, they were like, "Do you guys want a fireplace?" And we were like, "It's Texas. Like, I don't feel like we need it. Like, I've always wanted a fireplace growing up." But when we built the house, I was like, "It's Texas. We'll never use it. Like, I'm not gonna get a fireplace." And
Yeah.
the whole time, I was like, "We should have got the damn fireplace."
It would have been nice right now.
I would have been able to cuddle right in front of the fire if I needed to.
Yes.
So,
I
but
think y'all have plenty of water though, right?
actually since our water never went off, we did have water. That wasn't an issue for us, but then they put us on a boil water notice afterwards. After everything came back on, that was a little bit annoying. I didn't think the water tasted good when I boiled it, so I went and bought water. But the stores ran out. The grocery stores and everything like that, the shelves were cleared out. And so I ended up getting water from a convenience store, which people weren't really getting it from the convenience stores. I don't think they were thinking about that.
Right.
But I don't really buy bottled water anymore because we have a double filtration system in our house. And so our water is like double, triple filtered because our refrigerator has another filter on it as well. So I don't invest in bottled water anymore. But if I hear that we're going to have a snowstorm or something, I feel like I should grab a couple cases just in case we go on boil water notice or something like that again. I at least have some water and I won't have to boil, because we were also the boil water went into effect right a little bit before the lights actually came back on. And so we did have to boil some water outside. So we would have to go out in the cold
Right.
to boil the water. And so we just kind of put some in some of my drinking containers so that we would have it going through the day and stuff. But I would invest in water if I saw that there was the possibility of a storm again.
Gotcha. I know here some people did have water out. So a lot of people filled their bathtubs up. So if like for me going forward, I know that's one thing I'm going to do when a storm comes. I'm filling up my bathtubs. We're going to have water. We are going to make sure, like with you, we have that propane outside, plenty of wood. We're just going to definitely be some
It's
old.
like start preparing as soon as they say possible snow,
Yeah.
possible hurricane. Just go buy the stuff.
Yeah.
I did fill my bathtub though, just in case. And I don't know if I didn't close that sucker all the way, but all that water
Darn.
drained, girl. I was like, I'm glad we didn't lose water because we'd
Yeah.
have went up there and there would have been nothing in there.
I know for us, sometimes like we have doggy pick up poop day, like in our backyard. So we need to do our pick up poop day like multiple days instead of just one day a week. I think that will help too.
Yes.
Outside. All right. Anything
Well,
else you can think of?
no, I don't think so. I think that, again, like I think even though we had very different situations, I think we were both blessed in what we did have. I'm grateful for, our safety, for y'all's safety, especially with a new baby. And so everybody stay safe and stay warm and stay ready.
Yeah, stay ready. Yeah.
All right, so tell us what you got going on, Angie, before we head out.
Okay, so it is the month of March, and this month, my Lime Life team and I, we are really pulling together this month and doing a lot of fun things. So I still have skincare and makeup. It's almost time for the seasons to transition. So if you are looking to upgrade your makeup bag, for some nice spring colors, like put some little pops of color in your life. Also, it's the time of year where you need to start thinking if you need to transition your skincare. So, if you're thinking about doing either one of those, please reach out to me. You can reach out to me on social media. On Facebook, it's Angela Robertson. On Instagram and my Facebook page, it's Life with a Robertson. Or you can email me to schedule an appointment. It's Angie@arobertson.com. We can do an appointment virtually. And if you are looking for a side hustle or a job, I know that a lot of people are looking for part-time or full-time work. Don't hesitate to reach out to me because this opportunity and business venture has been very successful for a lot of people that aren't in sales. So to see their success is definitely lighting my fire even more. So even if you don't have a sales background, just know that you're still able to be successful in a network marketing company. And I'm happy to take your hand and run with you. So to do that, just reach out to me via either of those platforms as well. So what about you, Lashonda?
Awesome. I still have a lot of the same things going on. I still have my books and my journals and my shirts that you can always get on my website, lhollinspeaks.com. I have LNS Health Space that's still there. Starting next month, we'll have classes offered again. So if you're interested, we have yoga and we have HIIT classes coming up. So please don't hesitate to reach out. Also have the yoga retreat in Simpson County that's coming up actually on next month. If you're interested in that, please let me know. Follow myself and Brittany Turner on social media. You can get to all of my social media accounts from my website as well. So follow me so that you can stay up to date on what's going on. You can hit me up for the Eventbrite link in order to get your ticket for the retreat. If anybody is confused about the $13.50 for the retreat, it's for lunch, and lunch is going to be required because we won't be able to determine who's eating, who's not eating, that type of thing. So the actual retreat itself is free. Like everything that we're giving you from us and that we're putting together, the venue, we paid for all of that ourselves. You're only paying $13.50 for lunch that day, which is going to be catered. So definitely go to Eventbrite, get your ticket. We would love to have you at that yoga retreat. If you're in the Simpson County area, anywhere in Mississippi that's nearby, just come on, get your ticket. And then also, just as to kind of put this out there a little bit, I'm in the process of rebranding L Hollins Speaks as well. Right now, I am branded as a speaker, and I have all of these other things going on, as you can see. And so I'm in the process of rebranding L Hollins Speaks to be to include and incorporate all of these things that I'm doing. And I'm also going to be offering life coaching sessions as well. So stay on the lookout for that. Stay on the lookout for my rebranding launch date so that you'll know when everything is going to go into effect. So go to my website, hit subscribe, go to my Facebook and my Instagram and hit follow. Y'all have a good one. Thank you.
Awesome.
So thank y'all for listening, right, Angie, and watching, and hit follow or subscribe if you're on YouTube. If you're listening on podcast, hit follow, hit subscribe so that you never miss an episode. I think that's all I have.
That's it, y'all. So we will see y'all next time.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.